Hi! We're getting ready. We're waiting for our guest for today. So, in the meantime, as usual, I'm gonna add a filter. There you go. Now I look a lot more flawless, right? After all, that is what women want to look like, right? Okay, so we're so excited because this we're in this new week, and what better way to start a week than to actually have an amazing woman entrepreneur join us. So let's wait for her to join us. Yeah, I hope I'm in the right account. I believe I am. Yeah, I should have been on the right account. That's right. Okay, so let's wait for her to join us. And while we wait, there is the questions tab at the bottom of the screen. So if you want to ask any questions related to our topic today, which is discipline and why it's so important in building a business to have discipline. So yeah, drop those questions inside the questions tab. And in the meantime, while we wait, I'm going to type out the title of today's discussion. Let's see. Okay, so today's topic is going to be about the power of discipline. Okay, our guest is here. So give me a moment while I post this title. Power of discipline with ask your questions. Okay. I'm not great at typing really fast, so it's kind of annoying sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna add in our friend. Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm
Just
good too.
realized
You're also trying to figure out the filters thing
yeah,
again.
it's quite cool. I didn't know you could do this. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just leave it with this.
So I'm gonna say hello to everyone who's here. Hi, Monica Jamil. Hi, thanks for joining us. Then we also have I don't know what your
Jiggly Boo,
name
that's my
is,
friend.
but
Hi.
oh,
Hi,
okay,
Stella.
Jiggly
Oh,
Boo. Hi.
hi, Chloe.
Then we also have Chloe. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm sure Ethel here enjoys the presence of her friends being here to support her.
Yes, I think so.
I'm so glad for you to be here, Ethel. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right,
Hi,
so for those of you who are new here, Fearless Fempreneur is a series that Fempreneur Secrets has created quite recently in a way for us to let the voices of our amazing fearless fempreneurs be heard. So we started inviting lots of amazing women entrepreneurs, and when we began, we started realizing there's a lot more amazing women entrepreneurs who have done so many great work, just like Ethel here today. So thank you so much, Ethel, for joining us. And now it's time for me to introduce you. So, Ethel here is the founder of Our Lash Bar SG. Do you want to take away your own version of your introduction?
Yeah. So, yes, I'm the founder of Our Lash Bar. So, actually, Our Lash Bar started sometime October, November in 2019. And it purely started because I wanted to do lash lift and provide that as a service to people. And then along the way, it became a business because I cannot do falsies for nuts. And I tried magnetic lashes then and thought it was super life-changing. So I brought it into Our Lash Bar, which was still known as Lift My Lash last time. And over time, as we expanded and grew our customer base, in January this year, we changed to Our Lash Bar SG, and that is what we are known now, commonly known to my customers as just OLB.
Oh, wow. So that must have been a journey for you, yeah?
Yes, yes, indeed. It has been quite a crazy ride. I didn't think that we'll be where we are today. What's more, doing an IG live on this Instagram channel. So I think this is quite cool, and I'm very thankful for how far we have come.
Lovely. Now, you should always be grateful for all the little milestones
Yeah.
that you have achieved in your business because they will lead you up to much more.
Mm.
So, we are here today because Ethel wants to share the power of discipline and how that has helped her to build the business that she is running now, Our Lash Bar SG. So, Ethel, take it away and share with us.
Okay, so actually I wrote down like a few pointers in preparing for this. So the very, very first one is personally, I would think I'm a very disciplined person. I stick by what I set out to do very strictly, and I put in a lot of time. Oh, that's my friend. Hi, Minnie. And I think discipline is very, very important when you want to run a business. And that is something I tell all my distributors as well. Like, you do not just get success overnight by hoping and wishing for something good to happen. Like, dreams don't come true unless you work for them. So I feel discipline is firstly very important because nobody is going to want your business to succeed as much as you do. So you need to have the discipline as like your most basic foundation to always push yourself and to set your goals and be disciplined in trying to meet them. Because I think when you run a business, especially at the start, I think you will understand that we are mostly a one-man show. You know, you do everything from like admin to ops to like thinking of your marketing ideas, and at times it is really, really very easy to just like, okay, I'm not going to do this today, I'm just going to chill and be a normal human, you know, like I don't want to be thinking about my business. But I think that is where discipline comes in. You need to be able to set your heart and your mind on the things that you want and then work very, very, very hard towards it. So I think the second point was also like, I strongly believe you reap what you sow. So you know how like if you're going to put in 100% of effort, you are going to get a 100% result. And in order to be putting in 100% every day, it really requires a lot of discipline. And I think that stems from having very good habits. And these habits are definitely not easy to come by. So for one, like personally for me, I actually wake up every morning at the same time, no matter what time I sleep the day before, and I will set a to-do list. So that to-do list will kind of be what I didn't manage to do the day before. So I'll write that down before I go to sleep. And when I wake up, I'll plan my day, prioritize what I need to do, and I make sure I finish all the things on my priority list before I head to sleep. So I think this is also a form of discipline, like being accountable to yourself, and that's a whole new level of discipline. It's like really self-discipline, because when you work for someone, your manager, your boss, they are gonna come chasing for you after all your deadlines. And if you don't submit your work, then that's it. You know, you get your KPI is gonna drop. But then when you run your own online business, nobody is going to chase you, and nobody is going to come after you for deadlines. So I think that is something that is very important. Like, you really need to be disciplined and set the time and the workload that you need to do right. Yeah, and I think lastly, I think running a business for discipline, it is very important to have the discipline to know when to rest and when to take a step back. Because I think as like I'm sure most business owners would resonate with this, like we want to spend a lot of our time and energy doing the next marketing collateral, thinking of the next idea, thinking of the next launch, and our mind is just always running with how we can better our business and everything that we are doing for our career. But I think it also takes discipline to know when to stop and when to rest, because it's very easy to just go amok and just keep running and running until you no longer know what you're running, and the lines become a bit blur between whether you're actually hustling or you're reaching a burnout. So yeah, that's my take on discipline in businesses. And yeah, I really, really believe that when you have the discipline and when you set aside the time to reach what you want to achieve, you will get there. But discipline is the hard work that you will have to put in, because nobody's going to push you by yourself.
Wow, that is so inspiring. So, for those of you who have just joined, thank you so much for joining. And I can see that Ethel has lots of supporters here joining us today.
Yes, thank you so
Yes.
much for joining.
And yeah, so Ethel here just mentioned that in order for you to be disciplined in your business, as in there are a lot of things, of course. One of the things that I took away from that is definitely you need to be able to manage your time. And managing time effectively is one of the pitfalls of being a woman entrepreneur, because we are wearing so many different hats, right? And I mean, for you, you're still single, right? I mean, you're not married yet, right?
I'm not married, yeah.
yeah, so you're not married yet, so you don't have the responsibilities of taking care of your household,
Yeah, of course.
children, and all that. So when it comes to running a business as a woman entrepreneur, just like what you have said, when we first begin our journey, we tend to be the one woman show, and we're always trying to work things out, trying to perfect the whole landscape of what we envision for our business. And if we don't have that discipline to make things happen the way we want it for the future that we envision, then we're not going to get anywhere. So I really like what you have mentioned, which is we reap what we sow. Now, that sounds a little bit like negative, but I guess what you're trying to say here is that, Newton's law, I can't remember which law, like, the amount of force you put in, you have the equal and opposite force as well. So the amount of effort you put in, if you give 100% of your best, you will definitely receive 100% of your effort. You can see it in your business as well. And she mentioned a really good point, guys. She said that if you are running your business as you are your boss. You are your own boss. So there's no one else going to push you except yourself, because you're the boss, you are the manager, you are the Saikang warrior, you are everything, right?
Yes.
So those are really good points. And let's talk a little bit more about the time management bit. You mentioned that you wake up exactly at the same time. Is this something that you set an alarm for, or is it has become like your natural body clock?
It's a bit natural. Like, on some days you just want to snooze, right? But I'll be quite, like, my mind is quite awake already. Usually around, it used to be around 7, and then circuit breaker happened, so that became 9. But it has been consistently around 8-ish, 9. I'll set my alarm at 9, but sometimes I wake up. Oh, hello, Carissa. That's my friend also. Yeah, so I set my
You got lots of supporters.
I set my alarm around 9, yeah, and I will wake up usually around that time, and then I'll start like the whole rigor of writing my to-do list and checking off what I did yesterday and prioritizing my list of things to do, and then yeah, and I think what keeps me like going, right, is a very good breakfast. Like, I love my coffee, so I will treat myself to good coffee every morning, and then I think that kind of gets me like it's kind of a routine to get me hyped up for the day.
So that's really good. I think like later on when your things have already start to ease out, you might be able to go back to your 7 a.m. routine. So with that said, how long in a day do you normally work on your business?
I kind of think that you don't really stop working when you run your own business, because even in moments when I'm about to sleep, right, I will be thinking about the next launch, the next marketing collateral that I can do, the next video, or how can I push sales. I mean, at the end of the day, a business is all about our sales also. Like, otherwise we will no longer be like running a business. So I think the money part is quite a stressor, but also a huge motivator, because I'm always thinking. So if it's like physically working, right, I kind of work from 9 a.m. all the way to 3 a.m. every day. But I'm also a freelancer, so I kind of do some work in between. But I think at the back of your mind, your business will always be running,
Your
like
priority.
you don't
Yeah.
stop thinking about it. So I kind of count that working. Like, your brain is just like thinking of it. Yeah, but I feel that it helps, because so long you know how to segregate rest and overworking, I think it's a good balance, and that's when like ideas come. I know it comes at the most random moments.
Yeah, I cannot agree more with you, because sleep is important, but at the same time, we as business owners or as the entrepreneur leading the business itself, sometimes we just don't know when to shut our brain and tell it like, okay, stop, I want to sleep. Yeah, sometimes
Yes.
that happens because we're so creative, we're in coming up ways of our products, and we're so passionate about the business. So sometimes it can override our lives, and that's why you mentioned that it's so important to have self-care and take time to love ourselves. So what do you do to take care of yourself?
For one, what I'm trying to do now is keeping my Sundays or Saturday as a complete rest day. So yes, I will let the thoughts like come. I mean, if I do think about my business and my mind wanders off, I don't like hate myself for that. But I try as much as possible not to be physically working on one of these days. So I think it helps, because even though I work for like 6 days, I am kind of charging up and knowing that I'm working towards a day of rest. But it is very, very easy also to forfeit that day of rest, because when you run your own business, it's very hard to detach your life from your own business. Like, you constantly want to be taking care of that little baby, and it's very hard to leave it aside, even if it's just for like 2 to 3 hours. So I think that is also a huge, it requires discipline to really take a step back and rest, because I realized this actually helped my productivity. Taking this one day off a week has helped me to do work a lot faster and a lot more efficiently on days that I'm working.
Yeah, I love this. So like for myself to self-care and take care of myself is that whenever I feel like I need a break, I will just stop whatever I'm doing, I go to the kitchen and I cook something for myself. Like I don't care who's ever at home, I'll just cook for myself. Yeah. Because sometimes like you just need to do something that
Yeah.
takes your mind away from the business and that is unrelated to the business. Like for some people, I've actually heard of is that one of the things they enjoy doing is makeup. But for you, that can't be it, right? Because that is actually the work that you do.
Yeah, makeup. Yeah, not really, because that kind of reminds me of all the videos that I have to churn out and what I have not churned out. So yes, like I think I enjoy baking a lot, like cooking, baking. So that also helps. I think these things take our mind off things for a while, and actually when you come back, you are a lot more productive than you were before, like when you were reaching
Yeah,
that state.
I completely agree. So, I mean, you are still quite new in the business. You're still 1 year plus in the business.
Actually,
So it's
not even a year
less,
yet.
not even a year yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why I called Ethel in, right, is because she has seen amazing growth in her business, even though it was just at the beginning stage of her business. So it boils down to the concept and the idea of power of discipline, which is what she's talking about today. Like if you're disciplined and you want to see your business grow forward, you would put in the heart and soul into it. Well, she's blessed, of course, to have that ability to work full time of sort into her business. But there are other people who like probably just like you who are watching, you might have a full time job and you are doing your business as a side hustle. You might not get the same effect as Ethel, but I completely understand the importance of building a business full time, or you devote your energy 100% into something, because that is when you will start to see success in your business. Yeah, so that's the reason why I call Ethel. Okay, and she's so amazing. She's so amazing. We interviewed her for our home-based podcast episodes, and I was immediately connected to her. Like we shared a similar vibe. Yeah, and she reminds me so much of me when I first began my journey as well. Like gonna go all out, gonna hustle and make sure that everything works out, and you want to try and test every little thing. So her story is really amazing. So when the podcast episode is out, you guys can actually check that out as well. Yeah. Yeah, so I really am inspired by Ethel, and the reason why, like I said, that you're less than a year in business and you are already starting to see all of these things. You might start to encounter where the business is taking over yourself. But the truth of the fact is that if you are able to manage your time well and you care about yourself as a human, that you're not a machine, okay? So you got to hold back some decisions. If you're not feeling well, you got to take a break, you got to rest. That's like your body's way of saying, like, okay, you've got to shut down whatever you're doing and focus on you. So this is like a hint for people who are just like you, starting out in their business, still very young, still very new in the business, that you need to plan your working hours. It is so challenging, I can tell you, because you're so passionate about your business, right? So you've got to plan your working hours. So you've planned your working hours. So Monday to Saturday is your working hours of sort, right?
Kinda, because actually I'm not exactly doing OLB full time. Yeah, so when I first started OLB, right, I was still working, and I was working like multiple jobs at that time. So OLB was just one of the many things. So during that time, I didn't really focus a lot. I would say the growth heightened during circuit breaker, because when COVID started, I lost my jobs, and that was why I kind of dived into it full time. But that said, OLB is not the first business that I tried to run. So I guess it is a combination of all the trial and error that I tried last time when I was younger, and eventually this is what like I came up with and realized that this is the way like things work and this could work. So I would say the exponential growth wasn't really until circuit breaker started, which was quite surprising given how like there were so many different problems with online businesses at that time. But that was really when OLB grew and the community really formed, and a lot of the people here today are actually familiar customer names. So I'm very grateful for like this little community. Like it wasn't something I expected. But yeah, I completely agree that it is not easy to separate your personal life and your business when you're at the start, because when you start to see results, you want to work even harder to get even better results. So it's very hard to draw the line and, you know, like maybe at 9 p.m., okay, 9 p.m., end of working hour, I stop, but it doesn't always go that way.
Exactly. So, I mean, that is definitely a very it's a story that you will hold true to you
Yeah,
as you know later on as you go through more years in your business. Is this story you're gonna keep telling to more people? You're gonna say
like,
like, because of circuit breaker, because of COVID, here
yeah,
I am
because of
today in my business.
yeah, I think some people couldn't go out, so they actually took to online, and that was when my posts and my stories had a lot more engagement. So I think it is really because of the stay-home period that I managed to get this result.
Lovely. I find this so inspiring. I bet all of you who are watching this find this really inspiring as well. So if you're here supporting Ethel and you know you are here also to learn what is the power of discipline, we've already covered a little bit of that. Now is your time to ask questions. So you can just drop the questions down. You know, just ask anything. Ethel will be happy to answer them. Yeah. So just feel free to drop the questions and then we can get back to our discussion. So in summary of what you have just shared with us, I think, you know, everything that you said are all so valuable. One of the things that okay, let me rephrase that. Out of all the things that you have said and shared with us today, what would you say as the number one thing that you must do in your business?
I think the number one thing is to have a clear direction, which kind of equates to having very practical goals. Because no matter how much discipline you have, right, you need to know what you're gunning for. And what you're gunning for needs to be something that is achievable at the present moment. You know, like if I were to set a goal of wanting to earn $1 million from OLB today, I probably will not have any discipline nor drive to reach it because it feels so unattainable. But setting a goal that makes me a better person, or like as a better business owner, or even to make my business better, I think like a day by day goal helps. So practical goals, I think, is very important in helping you establish good discipline habits. Yeah.
Definitely. So that is words of wisdom that you have from Ethel. So I'm waiting for any questions from any one of you. If you have any questions for Ethel, and then can answer it. Don't be afraid.
You can
In
ask
the
me
meantime, let me play around with the filters.
filter.
Okay. I'm like so amazed with all the amazing filters.
Yeah, there's so many on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many. And this is the first time that someone else is actually using filter as well
Oh,
in
is
my
it?
IG live. So
I
it's
always
nice
use
to see that it's
I
completely
always use filter.
different.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've pretty much covered everything. I think our audience here are not asking any questions. Oh, okay, one question came out. Okay,
That's my
so
friend,
your
Carousel.
friend, okay, what's the
Yeah.
one thing that you will share with aspiring business owners? Go ahead.
Um, I would think, like, for me is, if you're not willing to put in the hard work, it just means that you don't want it desperately enough yet. So that is something that I think is very relevant. Like, it's not the most positive, like, happy quote ever, you know, but I think it's very realistic and practical. If you're not desperate enough for something, you will never put in that amount of hard work. But not to say that you'll never reach there, but I think it's more of finding that goal and finding what you really, really want, and everything else will kind of fall into place. Like the habit of waking up early, wanting to achieve more, wanting to do more, you will get there once you find and establish that goal of yours that you really, really want to achieve. Yeah.
That's a
But
good point. I think that's true.
yeah,
Because
it's not.
if you're not driven enough, then it means you don't want this enough. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, correct. Cause I work very very hard, and my friends always ask me like, why? Cause I MIA from maybe like answering them as often, and to me, it's like I really really want to make this work out, and that is why I'm putting in so much effort. Yeah.
Okay, your friend has a follow-up question.
Yeah.
So how do you overcome any discouragement or challenges in your business?
Thought that you were bummed out by the initial slow. Um, I think for me, when I started OLB, right, I was already faced with a lot of discouragement. A lot of people told me that OLB is not going to work out, and even until now, I get that kind of comments like, hey, you should go and find a proper job. This is not going to sustain you. If you're going to continue to do this, you're going to end up like not having proper finances when you're older or in your 30s. So,
Mm-hmm.
linking back to what Carissa said yesterday when I launched this new design of lashes, I actually launched it at 8 p.m. and when 8 p.m. came, there were no orders. And when 8:30 p.m. came, there were still no orders. And I think it was very discouraging for me because I was quite excited for the launch and I was even offering like free delivery. So at that time I was thinking like, what is going wrong? Like why is nobody ordering? But I took a step back and reminded myself that, the fact that I'm able to bring in different designs of lash and able to do what I'm doing on OLB now is already where I actually dreamed of being last time. So I think it's about counting your little milestones and being thankful
Mm-hmm.
for how far you have come, even if it's just a small step. So in the end, at 9 p.m., the order started streaming in, and I guess like it kind of reminded me that if your attitude towards life is right, the good things will always come. So there is no point. My boyfriend always tells me this line. He always says there is no point being upset over something you have no control over. Instead, go work on what you can control. So if there is no sales from your launch, there is nothing you can do about it unless you intend to buy it yourself. So instead
Mm-hmm.
of harping on why are customers not buying, why not you go and think how you can do a better launch the next time, or how could you improve your collaterals? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's really good. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate you on coming out with what do you call it? Sassy Bell? Sassy
Yeah,
Bell,
Sassy
right?
Bell. Yeah, this is Sassy Bell. I'm wearing it now.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting wave of the lashes. It looks really like sassy, like exactly. So I
Yeah,
voted for the name Sassy Bell.
yes,
I
me
was
too.
like,
I also like
yay!
Sassy Bell. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like if you guys want to find out more about what Ethel does in her business, you can follow her on Our Lash Bar SG, and you can check out some of her new collections and some of her launch offers as well. So, yeah, is there any last words of wisdom that you have? I think you've already given us plenty of words of wisdom, but I still want to ask you if you've got any last bits of words of
I
wisdom.
think that will be hard work will pay off. You may not see it now, you may not see it in a month, but it will eventually pay off. All you need to do is to persevere. Yeah, because good things always come to those who hustle.
I love this. You've got lots of words of wisdom. You should really just, like go on and continue to inspire
Maybe
people.
because I always read. I follow a lot of code pages for like my own motivation sake. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, like
Lovely. I had a great time speaking with you, Ethel, and
me
I'm
too,
pretty sure
Huda.
that all our viewers and listeners here who are watching got inspired by your topic of the power of discipline. And we can see so much in you. 6 months, right? 6 months of your business. And take a look at where she is right now. It's just 6 months, guys. Because of the power of discipline, the perseverance, and the desire to create change and impact in her life. That is what you see. And she's like the case study and the success story over here. And we're so proud and blessed to have you here. And I can not wait to see further growth and success in your business.
Thank you, Huda.
Thank you. All right, so for
Thank
those
you.
of you who are watching in, I want to also let you know that we have a 5-day free goal setting challenge. Just like what Ethel said, goal setting is so, so important. So we have a 5-day free goal setting challenge, and we're going to leave it inside the link of this IGTV. So right after this, we're going to share it as an IGTV. So you just tap right above here and you go through all the description. The link will pop up. You can just tap on that and you can gain access to our 5-day free goal setting challenge. So with that, thank you so much, Ethel, for being here. I really appreciate your time, and I hope to see you more in more visibility in your business as well.
Thank you, Huda. Thanks for having me.
Thank
Thank
You're
you.
most welcome.
And
So
thank you
remember to
all of
keep
you who joined.
learning. Yes, thank you everyone who's joined, and thank you for all your fans, your amazing
Yeah,
fans who come here to support you as
yes, I
well.
love being
So
happy.
follow Fempreneur as well. Okay, so remember to keep learning and keep believing in yourself because the world needs an inspiration just like you. And I'll catch you in the
Thank
next
you.
episode of Fearless Fempreneurs. Bye bye.
Bye bye.